I'm excited, man. I haven't really thought about making clothes for a long time. What's going on YouTube? Taylor Print is back here with another video, and this video is going to be about me possibly starting a clothing brand in 2022. So this is something that I've done in the past or tried to unsuccessfully. One time I had a bunch of blanks printed on by somebody and they were screen printed, and I wanted like a left chest logo and it was like all the way up here and it just looked horrible, and I was just kind of and I kind of just kept the t-shirts in a box and never really did anything with them. So that was just like a waste of, I don't even remember how much money I spent, but that kind of deterred me from making clothes for a while. And then eventually I made like a one-of-one t-shirt that had like a pretty cool design. It was a direct-to-garment print, so the design was like a little faded on the t-shirt when I got it, but I actually kind of liked that look. And then I ended up losing that t-shirt, and I just never ended up making those shirts because they were going to be pretty expensive to manufacture, and I just didn't really have a fund or like the game plan for that at the moment. So I just kind of ditched that idea. And then eventually me and my buddy ordered some Comfort Color shirts, and we soaked them in salt, and then we like custom dyed them, so they actually felt really, really nice. They were like, had that really worn feeling, but they were really, really cool. Trying to think, I think I have one actually. Okay, yeah, so we just dyed them pink, like this pinkish purple, and as you can see it's kind of like a tie-dye. It's we were going for like that Stone Island type of look, and they feel amazing. Like soaking them in salt, if you haven't heard of that, is a really great process for just kind of altering your blanks and making them feel a little bit nicer. And then for the actual logo, we just screen printed all the way down with like black, and then we mixed in some white and whatever. So every t-shirt was a little different, so that was kind of cool. And Strada is just street in Italian, so that's why we went with that. And this like outer logo was actually just like a design default thing in Illustrator or Photoshop, I think. The bird logo, the like origami bird logo, I'm not really sure where we got that from, but I actually really, really like these t-shirts. I don't wear it very much. Obviously, like, the print is not great. We like heat set them for a while, but yeah, it started to crack, and I don't think I ever really dried this, so obviously it was not the highest quality, which leads me into my next point. So I got a new job working at a print shop, and they do all kinds of printing and stuff, but I've kind of taken over the clothing manufacturing part, or I'm like learning all the processes of how to manufacture clothes, really. So printing on just anything, shirts, bags, and it is like a heat transfer, so it is heat pressing, so it's not screen printing or direct to garment or anything like that. It's direct to film transfer paper, and then I heat press that on to whatever garment or item that it needs to be pressed onto. And then I'm also going to learn embroidery. I haven't learned that yet, but I should be learning that this next week. So I'm taking this opportunity of learning how to manufacture garments, and I'm going to see if the owner will let me just pay for the material cost and let me do all the labor. So if I'm able to do that and I'm able to get the blanks that I want, they're all cut and sew, they're really high quality, I think I could make some samples, see if I like them or not, and then from there see what my best game plan is to release them as like actual like a clothing brand. Because in the past, like I said, like when I made these and stuff, I actually did have a couple people buy some of these, and if you're somebody who bought one, I really appreciate you, huge shout out. But I did not sell very many. We didn't do like a real photo shoot, we didn't build an Instagram, literally nothing it takes to make a brand. We didn't do any of it. So this time around I will take the proper steps into making a brand if I do go through with making the clothes, and they will be rather expensive. Just the cut and sew blanks that I plan on using will have to be pretty expensive. Even though I'm doing my own printing and embroidery, whatever, I will still have to charge pretty high for these. And that's part of just building the brand too, is I want it to be luxurious and seen as a luxury brand, because eventually I want to get into making like full clothing collections with crazy silhouettes and like crazy materials and stuff like that. That's actually what I was going to college for before I dropped out, but I'll show you guys on the screen. So I took like drawing classes, like illustration classes, with like pen and pad and like colored pencils and markers and all that stuff, and that helped me learn clothing design a lot. My teacher was really, really good. The fashion design classes were some of the only classes in college that I thought were useful to what I wanted to do, so I actually took a lot away from those. I got a lot better at drawing designs, which I'm still not amazing at, and I haven't tried to draw a design for like 3 or 4 years. I tried to draw the logo that I made for this new brand idea that I have the other day on pen and paper, and it was so terrible. So I ended up just trying to make it in Illustrator, which was actually a lot easier of a time, but I definitely struggled with Illustrator because I haven't used that since college, which I also had a course on. My teacher for that was really, really cool, and he taught me a lot about not just Illustrator, but Photoshop too. I wish I could remember his name. I wish I could like email him to ask him stuff, because he was a really, really good teacher and just made stuff really easy to follow. But yeah, I'm definitely out of touch, so it'll be interesting. Like, I have this one design and I'm pretty set on it. I just need to make some adjustments to the colors to make it more appealing, but I'm still gonna stick with the same color scheme that I've got. So like I said, I've got the color scheme, the logo, and the name of the brand. So pretty much now I just need to make samples and make the pieces and see how people feel about them. So far, the people that I've showed the logo to like it, so that's promising. I really, really like it, so I'm pretty hype about it. I'm gonna continue to show it to people just to see what they think, and then eventually I might try printing it on just like a white t-shirt that I have, but I really need to get some of these cut and sew blanks in. I'm just waiting to see, like, I'm pretty much deciding if I should just order one to see how it fits and see how just everything is, see if it's like the right material and quality that I'm going for, because it will be kind of expensive. So I just want to make sure, if that's what I end up doing, that it's the right thing. But part of me just wants to buy like 10 of them right off the bat just to have them in stock, and then kind of buy 10 at a time throughout the year, so my costs are never super high. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how I stock stuff. It will be very limited, to say the least. It will not be any like there'll probably be like 100 of each thing at the most, for sure. So I'm planning on doing t-shirts, sweatshirts, and sweatpants hopefully, and it might even be like there's 50 of each garment. So it will be very limited first run until I'm able to build out the brand. There will be restocks and stuff, at least now that's the plan, because I'm not trying to change up the design every time. I kind of want to build some brand awareness and get the logo out there so it becomes known. I'm basing it on me getting blanks and printing it and everything going smoothly. And the printer does have some nuances with color, so it will be interesting to see if the colors that I come up with print exactly how I want them to the first time. If they do, I'll be really hyped, but if they don't, that'll be another step of stuff that I just have to figure out. But yeah, luckily I feel like if I do have success, like in a couple releases, just selling like the basics of my brand, I do think I'll be able to get in touch with manufacturers. I feel like at this point in my life, I've built some pretty notable relationships as far as clothing manufacturing goes. So I think if I were to have some success, like I was saying, I could just build like a full run of clothing, and that would be more like spring summertime clothes, I think, because I already have like a full collection kind of that I've built for that kind of stuff. So it might just be the logo, even with just some color adjustments, and then maybe some like shorts and stuff, because I have some really cool ideas for shorts, just they would be really expensive to make, I know, so they'd be really expensive to sell, and right now I have no customers or clients or whatever. So really I just need to get a logo and a brand and get it some awareness and get well known, hopefully get some famous people wearing it or whatever. But that's really the important step. And like I said, it will be pretty expensive, but I will, if the YouTube or whatever has some success throughout the year, I would definitely think about making designs for merch. So it would be like $20, $25 t-shirts, because I do want to build brand awareness for the YouTube as well, and I also want to give people a clothing brand that's a little bit cheaper than the one I'm offering. Obviously, the luxury clothing brand is kind of where my passion is at, but you never want people to feel excluded, so I always want people to be able to have access to whatever items that I'm offering. So I think cheaper clothes are a way to do that, and maybe I can make it interesting and do like just super limited drops, So the shirts have some resale value, so if you get one on release day or whatever, it can still go up in value, so people still feel cool about buying those pieces. I think merch just loses the coolness because there's just mass production and stuff, and that's really what it's about, is making sure everyone can have one, and for the brand owners to make them as most profit as they can through merch. But like I said, if I were to do it, I think I would do like small releases and just change up the designs and have like a lot of cool designs, a lot. I think I would have a lot more items, because the luxury stuff, that's going to be like a slow burn, whereas if I were to get into merch and stuff, that would be more, I wouldn't say fast fashion, but it would be more like your brands, like a Cookies clothing brand or like a Diamond, where it's cheap and accessible for everyone. We're just pumping out designs, and we want to keep stuff limited so it's still cool, but we want to be able to flood the streets with whatever we're making at the time. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I've got cooking for clothing brands as far as 2022 goes. We'll see how the production goes. If I end up making some samples or whatever, I'll probably make a YouTube video about it. And if I get the blanks in, I'll maybe make a video about that. I kind of want to keep it on the low, like where I'm getting the blanks from or whatever. And I definitely want to make sure that they're the right quality and stuff before I go ahead with any of that. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I haven't really thought about making clothes for a long time, so getting this new job has me feeling like rejuvenated and just like has the creative juices flowing. So I think it'll be really cool to see where everything goes, and if I do end up having success with the clothing, I'll be really hyped. It's just something I've always had a passion for, but making clothes is really expensive, so that's kind of why I've never gotten into it heavy. That's kind of why I transitioned from being sewn to clothes to making music, is because it's free to make music, and with clothes you have a lot of upfront costs and a lot of risk, where as in music you have the software, you kind of just make beats. You can buy new softwares and stuff, but you don't have to. You can kind of just make it work with what you have. Clothing, you always have to be buying new stock and stuff, so it's a lot riskier of investment, and that's kind of why I've strayed away from it. But since I'll be able to be making the clothes and be doing my own quality control and making sure what I'm paying for is like what I want, because I'll be making it, I'll feel a lot more comfortable. And yeah, I just think it'll be a lot smoother of an experience, and it'll be interesting to see how quickly or non-quickly I can pick up embroidery. I think it should be pretty easy, so I think it's just really all about like the placement. I think the machine does most of the work, so we'll see how that goes. But hopefully by 2022 fall winter, you guys will have a couple of pieces from me out there and existing, and hopefully we'll do a couple of restocks. I would like to get them in probably like the earliest I could in the fall winter, so maybe we could have like a second or third release like around Christmas and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. If you could hit that like and subscribe. If you have any questions about just clothes in general, or you want me to look at your clothing brand and give you a review, just let me know down below. Hit me up on Instagram. You can reach me there, or my Twitter, wherever's cool. But thank you again for watching, and have a good one.